Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So I got a ton of new washi tapes when I did my Tickled Pink advent calendar and I wanted to use them in a week. So this is what I've made. I hope you like it. Let's go! Alright, so if you saw on Christmas Day, I did my unboxing or reveal of all of the washi tapes out of the Tickled Pink advent calendar. And I'm horrible with washi tape. I put them in I love looking at them. But I put them in my washi drawer and then I never touch them again. So I'm challenging myself to use some of the washi tapes to sort of decorate this week in my planner. Now you've seen me do one before with Simply Gilded, but that was using like a whole page that I just kind of did stripes along. Each day, one of my days is going to be a different washi. So I don't know if this is going to work yet, but I'm going to give it a good shot. So I'm going to start off with this one. This is the beach one, and I just think it's gorgeous. Little Primrose sitting on the beach. I'm just gonna line that up along the bottom. I'm not even worrying about the line behind because you won't notice it with the ombre of the sea anyway, so it won't matter. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Probably have just a little bit too much there, but that's alright. Lining that up. Go. Now before I cut off the excess, on the top I'm going to put, this is the washi that came out of my advent calendar, so this is the Tickled Pink Plum Mashable washi, and I want to use that on the top. I'm going to white out the January behind though, just so that I don't have that showing through, and then I'll cut off all the excess all at once. And I love this washi so much. I'm also just going to white out the Monday. I'm probably going to cover it up anyway, but I just don't want it sort of peering out the bottom, just in case I don't. So let's put this up. Sometimes it's easy to go from the top. And I'm just using the sort of the repeat of the washi as a bit of a starting off point, so then I get the dark in one corner and it fades across to the pink. I just think it looks really cool. I'm going to do the Friday down here as well. Oops. Nearly put the ocean one back on there again. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to start with the dark. I'm going to have the pink and then it'll fade to the dark. For a minute there I was thinking, can I do it the other way? But I don't think, I think I can actually. So let's go this way instead. So it's got the dark in the middle of the page and it'll fade to the pink. Just to add a little bit of interest. There we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut off the excess. Okay, I love the way that fades. Oh, the only thing I'm a little annoyed about is I didn't check what was happening in the middle here, because Primrose, I've got like our arm sitting there. If I was clever, I would have sort of made that fit a bit better, but anyway, I won't notice it, I'm sure. Righto, so now we're going to start putting in some of the other washi. So what I've done is I've pre-cut some 4.5 centimeter just bits of paper, and so they're 4.5 centimeters high, so they fit up here absolutely perfectly. So what I think I'll do is I don't want to have them all just as boxes. Some of them I want to have flip out, and I'm just thinking maybe some of them I have as like a double. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. But at least for the first one, I'm just going to go ahead and cut this in half. I'm going to grab my paper trimmer. Don't really need to use paper trimmer, you could just use the scissors, but I like to be precise sometimes. So I'm just going to cover each of these in a different colour, or in different washi tape. And At least then I've got these sort of ones to start with. So this little cute one with the bows and the gingham. And I am paying a little bit of attention to where I'm putting these, as in pattern wise, but at the same time kind of not, if that makes any sense. I'm just making sure they line up straight more than anything else. And the gingham one's really easy to do that for because obviously it's got lines all through it. So just peel that one up. Just leave that off to the side for a second. And I'm going to use the same technique for this one on this side with the pink and the green. I still love this one because it's got these cute little prickle details behind the green at the top. It just looks so super cute. Just peel that up and just cut off all the excess washi. Don't need to be too particular because we're going to trim this anyway, so just need to make sure it just has just the boxes. This is what I mean with the doubles. Like some of them I might make them sit out a little bit. I am going to cover all of the days, and then I'm just going to play around with sort of where I put the days back in. I'm going to stamp them back in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead off camera and make up the other ones of these, just lining them up the exact same way I just did. Some of them are going to be flip outs. You guys would have seen the way I do flip outs before, so it's not a big deal. It's just actually I'll show you one. So I'm just gonna eyeball it. So we can do about to here. And just fold that over. And just with my scissors, I'm just gonna follow that line up. Now it's got to work out which way I want it to flip. So I think I want it to flip outwards. So then my little decoration will go on this one. So I'm going to do this one with the watermelons. So this one might be a little bit more difficult because it's folded over. And then just trim off the excess. Now just be careful down the folded side that you don't cut the paper at all, because then you'll ruin your fold. And again, I didn't pay any attention to how big I made that, as in size wise. I just sort of guessed it. And then you have your little fold out that'll go like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, but I'm going to flip it around the other way. So I'm going to go ahead and make all my little boxes and stuff up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so all of my boxes are now done. So I ended up doing 6 of the kind of regular one and then 2 that are going to flip out. Now something that I did realise along the way was I've measured these to 4.5, which if you then have the tall and short washi at the top, they're going to be a little bit smaller than that, so I just have to cut them off as I go, which is fine. So what I'm going to do is work out where I want to put the fold out ones first, and then work out which ones are going to end up being bigger. So I think I'll put these 2 here, so that way they're not in the same place. The cloud one needs to go on this side so it stays away, and it needs to stay away from the bottom. That one, I just love that one so very much. I think it's gorgeous. So that's going to go there. These 2 are kind of my green ones, so I'm going to put them on opposite sides and not too close to each other. Alright, so I'm going to stick these 2 down first. Now there is just a little bit of overhang of the washi on the top, so I'm just going to trim that off. So that way it's not going to stick to anything. So this is really easy, it's just sticking down with glue tape. Then one of these is going to be my happy mail, and one of them will be like a to-do list or something similar. So I'm just going to stick that down and just sort of use the lines as a guide. I've just missed a spot, so I'm just going to stick it down, and then as you've seen me do with glue dots before, just rubbing your finger off will remove those glue dots, so that makes that really simple. So these little boxes are 4.3 centimeters, so anywhere I'm sort of doing a standard size one, I'm going to keep to that 4.3. And I'm just wondering if I've got, so that one's 8, so it's like a double box, kind of. So I think think I'm just going to trim that down a little bit on the top. And I'm going to use my trimmer for this so I can try and keep it at least a little bit straight. Keeping in mind that I've probably cut that line, so it's probably actually not straight anyway. But so I'm just cutting the tinsy little bit off the top so that that'll sit just under. And I'm going to leave that as the double box. This is where it sort of starts to get tricky because I don't want to have them all, if I do them all down the side and covering up the day of the week, it's then going to mean that, it's then going to mean that it's going to look funny if I do other things. So what I'm going to do is actually cut these ones down. I'm going to make these ones a little bit smaller. So I'm just going to make this one to, I'm just making that line straight. I'm just going to make this one to the 4.3. Making sure that's straight. And that can go on the side, and that way that kind of makes that look a bit better. And I'm going to use, and I don't know if it works, so I'm going to have to try it in a second, but when I get to it, I'm going to try stamping on the washi tape with some stays on ink. So I'm going to stamp these back in with my It's a Date stamp set. So I'm going to do the same thing. And that one was going somewhere else. That was going to go in the middle there. That was going to come at the bottom. So that one's going to have to get smaller anyway. Right, so I'm just going to go ahead and size these all up. Anywhere I need to, I'm just going to trim off any excess, and then we'll be back to sort of put the days of the week back in. Not all of my squares are perfect. I'm just going to deal with that. I don't know how I feel about it, honestly, but I'm just going to deal with it. So everywhere we've got a day that hasn't got a cover, over the top, we need to put that back in. So I'm just going to grab my It's a Date stamp set, and I don't know if this is going to work, so I'm going to give it a shot and see. And then this is Stays On ink. So Stays On is a little bit different to normal ink. I wouldn't use it unless I'm putting it onto a surface that is going to slip and slide. Really good for acetate. I know it works on acetate, so I'm assuming it's going to work on washi tape. It smells like licorice to me. Not licorice. It's like a, do you guys, and I'm going to show you how completely old I am right now. Anyone whose mum got Avon, they used to have like a little lip balm that I used to make my mum buy me all the time. It smells like that. It's like cherries. It's like a dark cherry. Now the other thing just to keep in mind is that Stays On does A, dry pretty quickly, but B, does slightly stain. No, well that doesn't work at all. That's not good. Now I'm not sure if that's my ink or the washi tape, so I'm going to just try something else. It does stain a little bit because obviously it is a little bit more. Okay, righto, so I might just have a really dry Stays On. I don't use it very often if I'm being honest, so that doesn't surprise me that it's a little bit dry. I'm just going to see what other colours I've got, because I do have a couple others. I've got an orange, a green and a red, and I don't think any of these are going to look good. I'm just seeing what works now. Okay, well that would have worked if my ink had worked. Right, I'm getting there now. Green works. Still gotta be a bit careful where you slide it. And then the cherry. Pink think might work. Like I said, it does stain a little bit, but I have got some Stays-On cleaner that gets that stain off. Okay, so because my Stays-On isn't working, I really want to use my stamps though. Just while I'm having a think, I'm just going to clean my stamp because it's just bugging me. So this is just cleaner from, I got mine from Spotlight. You just rub it on top of the stamp and then just clean it. It doesn't 100% get rid of it, but it gets rid of it a lot more than it was before. So, okay, thinking. Well, I only really need to do it for 3 days because the other ones all kind of work. So, okay, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna stamp the others in to start with. So I'm gonna put the Monday, etc. back in, and I'm just gonna use Chip Sapphire Distress Oxide for that. I just wanted a darker kind of color. I didn't want to use black, so I thought the Distress Oxide would look really pretty. And I'm just gonna stamp that wherever I like, as in they'll kind of all wiggle down the page. And then Monday is the 13th. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp the ones that I can stamp in, and then I'll come back and do the other one. So I put my one on upside down, but I don't care. So what I'm going to do is cover up the other days. I'm just going to cover it up with a sticker of some description. Washi tape's not going to work, and I can always use it as a someplace to write notes or etc. So I'm just jumping into my Oscar and Lou book because that's sort of my go-to when I need a box or a cover at the moment. I need to cover up here as well, so I'm actually going to grab this pale blue one. And I'm not using my tweezers today, which is actually kind of annoying me, but I'm going to put that there and grab my January. And I just want to see if January fits in the box. I think it'll be a little bit too... Oh no, it'll work. So I'm going to put January in that box. It's going to overhang a little, but it'll work. And then... So we need to cover up all of these. Now I can use some of these bows. Anything that's going to cover it up is going to be fine. I do have a set of tweezers here. So anything I can find that'll cover up the day is going to work absolutely perfectly. So I don't really mind if it's a box or a square or a flag or a sticky note, as long as it fits. And anywhere that I can sort of, if I put the sticker down and I can see the type through it, I'm just going to put down some white tape. A little trick that I've learnt with whiteout tape is that it's a little bit like the glue tape, in that you can actually kind of rub it off if it's kind of in the way. You've got to scratch it off more than rub. But I just grab a pair of tweezers or something else. Not quite like a really sharp edge, so don't use like the point of the tweezers unless you're getting into those little scallops. But if you really don't like it, you can just scratch it off. You don't notice it quite as much. Okay, so I just need to cover up the Thursday. And those bows don't quite work. I'm going to use this one here with the white. And again, grab the whiteout tape. I'm actually going to see if I can stamp in this one. And then I might put the bow next to it, or the date might go next to it. I don't know yet. But we'll see if that works. So I'm going to finish stamping all of these in. It shouldn't take very long. Alright, I actually don't hate that. There's a couple of little bits that don't quite work, which is where I'm going to fix it up with a little bit of a sticker. stickery kind of thing. It just needs a little bit of balance over this side. So I'm just going to add in a bow. I don't know why. I just feel like the bow is going to balance that out, even though it's the same colour bow as that one. Which means I need to put one down here as well. Bring some yellow in over here. Alright, so the last couple of things I just need to add in. I just need to add some titles in these ones. So I'm going to use my to do in this one. And then there'll be another one down here, I think. So I'm just going to do just in there. This one's not going to have a... I'm going to use the squares. Yeah, squares. Everything else is square today, so... Just stamp the squares down here. Oh, I love those squares. They make me so happy. And then this one's going to be Happy Mail, so I'm just going to leave it without a title, just because I don't have a Happy Mail stamp. Promise you the next one I do, I'll make a Happy Mail stamp. It really was. I didn't think of that. What was the other word we had on there? Days to go, to do. And then I'm just going to add in, just as an extra, because I do tend to use sort of more than 2 to-do lists. I'm just going to add in another one down here. The only other thing I need to do is just add in a little sticker for the gym. Oh, I know what I'll do. There's a little envelope in here. Here we go. I'll just put the little envelope up here so I know that's for the Happy Mail. I think I've got something that'll be gymish. I'm just going to leave the gym one off. I'm just going to write it in pen. So I'm just grabbing my bluish kind of pen and just write gym in here. And I think I'm going to leave that like that. So I didn't really, when I say I didn't use too much, like I did obviously, there's 10 different washi tapes there, but none of them look over the top, none of it looks too much. These two will end up actually sitting down flat. I like that January's up there, even if it was used to hide something. So let me know what you think down below. Do you like these washi tape kind of creative weeks? I did ask you guys on Instagram if you'd like a kit week or a creative week. You guys said creative, so I will do that occasionally, sort of if I'm on the fence, not sure what I want to do. So if you do want to join in and have your say with what I'm doing every week, you can. Just make sure you're following me over there on Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you do like these kind of videos. Remember, I do them every single Sunday. Hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic rest of your week, and I will see you again in my next video. Sending lots of huggles. Bye!